Okay, let's keep going with Stripe here. Let's refresh this page. So when we add something to the cart and hit purchase, we are gonna get this error, get Stripe. We're gonna get Stripe. So what's going on here? Well, there's a little issue here where I exported, export default get Stripe. Let's not invoke it here, just export the function for us. Cool. So let's refresh that, add to cart, click. Okay, so that worked, but it says cart items is not defined now. So let's take a look what's going on in our cart. Look, we're doing the handle checkout, but we only have cart items defined in here. So we just need to take this payment and move it from here down here. All right, so now cart items is available to pass down in here. Cool. Can we see the, let's see, I'm not sure if it's gonna give us the data here to visualize. But console log data, let's refresh, add to cart, purchase. Unfortunately, we cannot see it. It still gives us an error because it doesn't really know what to do with this right now. We are sending him over to our Stripe here when we're fetching, because this needs to run first. We need to get the data from API Stripe with the method of post, and once that gets back, we'll have access to the data here. And once that's done, we will be redirected. All right, so it's not gonna work, but if we take a look here in the network, we can see if we click on the Stripe here, that we are sending a payload through with our information. So that's really good. So now in our API and the Stripe.js file, we can actually handle our checkout. So first thing we need to do is import Stripe from Stripe, like that. And then const Stripe is going to be equal to new Stripe. Oops. And I'm going to add a $sign like that. Process.env.next public Stripe secret key, I believe it was. Yeah, that should be fine. So again, you can imagine like you're doing this on the back end. So export default async function. Let's call this handler. We're going to have a request and a response here where we can check if the request that's being made from the front end, if the method is called a post, well, then we can run some functionality in here. Let's check it out. Let's console log out the request that's coming in and hit save. So let's see if that works. Let's do a refresh, add to cart, add, boom, bunch of errors, but that's all right. Did we get anything back here? It says the name Stripe is defined multiple times. Okay, so this is uppercase. Let me just do it with the lowercase. A new instance of Stripe. Let's do that. Refresh, add, plus. Look at that. So we are getting hit with the request here, which I'm console logging out. And as you can see, there's a ton of information here. We'll see if we need anything from here. I know it's quite a big one, but we should be able to basically pull out from the request.body basically the payload that we're sending through. So click that again. Let's see. Look at that. We are getting an array of the different objects. So this is getting hit by our backend right now, our API. And then here what we need to do is do a little try catch block, okay? And what we need to do essentially is create a checkout session. And the way we do that is say const session is equal to await stripe.checkout.sessions.create. All right. So this is going to hold basically all the information like what are we allowing our users to do, what kind of payment methods they're taking, what kind of countries they're allowed to have to basically send the payment through, or the different shipping abilities, all that type of stuff. So let's start making our session here. So our submit type is going to be called pay. All right, so we're paying for something. There's also something called like subscription if you want to add. There's so much stuff that you can do with Stripe. It's crazy. Mode is going to be payment. I believe it's here actually, but anyway. And then payment method types, it's going to be card. But by default, as far as I know, when I checked out the Stripe docs, it also does Apple Pay. See here, payment methods and settings, does cards, but it does Apple Pay and Google Pay as well. That's turned on by default. So that's really cool. Okay. And we can also define like a shipping address collection. So if I want this to be, I can define the allowed countries here. I can do US, I can do Canada. And again, it's very easy to kind of just look this up. Stripe, if you want to add more countries, should be here. Their docs are quite okay, actually. Not terrible, not good, but not terrible. You can switch this over to Node.js to kind of make it look. See, it looks almost exactly like what we have in our Next.js code. I wonder if it says like the types of countries that you can add. It should say somewhere. Countries list. Let's see. I'm curious now. It should say somewhere. I think if you don't add anything here, by default, it's gonna do everything. So you can find this. It's there somewhere. I found it once. Okay, and yeah, I think that's it for now. Let's keep it nice and simple, and then we'll add a couple more stuff to it. And we can also define something here called, so the comma, line items. And this is basically gonna hold all the different products so you can see them on the screen on the checkout page. So all we're gonna do is do request.body, because that's, if you remember, that's where our data lives in. And we're just gonna do a map here. Map each item. And what we wanna do is, I'm gonna open up a return here. And I'm gonna say price data. And here you can define the currency. So I'll just say USD. The product data. Here you can add the name of it, which is going to be from item.title. And the images are going to be from, let's do an array here, item.image.data attributes. We're doing this a million times. Formats, thumbnail, that's going to be fine. And I believe it's .url. Okay, cool. You can add a bunch of different things here. If you want to do the description here, if you want to do the price here, but we can actually do that out here. We can do unit amount. Again, this is all in the docs. So if you look through it here, you can find all of these different things that you can do. So unit amount is going to be item.price, and we're going to do times 100, because by default, I think it does it by decimals or something? I'm not sure. So just add times 100, and then it's going to display it properly. Okay, and that's pretty much it. That's the basic of our session here. And we'll add more to it in just a bit, but let's just get it working for now. And here at the end, so after we create this lovely session, what we can do, where does our line items end? So right here, let's do a res.status of 200.json, and we'll return this session. So basically we'll create a response and add the status of 200, which means, hey, everything was okay and the payment went through. And just send back the JSON format of the session so we can visualize it. All right. But I mean, if we have an error, then we'll do a res.status and we'll do error.status code. So we'll let Stripe decide what kind of error we have. Otherwise, we'll do a 500, which means it's not good. It's just not good. JSON, and we'll do error.message just so we can display it on the screen. Error.message. Okay. And I believe that should be it. Let's take a look. Let's go here, add an item, open it up, purchase. Boom, error, forbidden, not allowed. You must provide one-line items or session. I mean, that doesn't give us too much. Let's see if our network is gonna give us a bit more details. So if we hit Stripe here and preview, here we go. This API call cannot be made with a publishable API key. Please use a secret API key. Okay, so see, this preview actually gives you quite a bit of information. And that's why we send it through here, right? If we just do a console log hello, I don't think you are gonna see it. Boom. And as you can see, we are not really getting back anything here. So let's just go back and send this through. Click. I wonder where this is coming out from. I wonder if we just missed our API key and didn't add it correctly. So let's take a look at that. No, we are doing next Stripe secret key here. So let's take a look at that in our EMV. So it should, see, I added the same code, damn it. Let's go over to our Stripe account and click on the secret key and then click on copy. Okay, let's replace this with our secret key. Hit save. We might need to close the server and reopen it. Run dev. Lovely. Go back here. Oh, my keyboard's gonna die soon. Add, open, and hit on purchase. Another error. Missing required param success URL. So I think it means that it actually works. It went through, but it needs to redirect us to a success page. So yeah, I mean, how do we do that? Not too difficult. What we need to do here is go back to our code. Let's go back to our cart and oops, Stripe.js, here we go. Let's do it right after this line items here. Bring people to the success or failed page. So we can just define something called a success URL. And here we need to basically pass request.headers.origin /success. All right, so this is gonna send us to /success. Let's give it another shot. Add. Boop. Oh, I felt like we were getting closer there. Oh, missing required param. You also have to add the cancel page to it. So let's do that. This is gonna be called cancel URL. So this is gonna take us to the canceled page. Perfect. Let's try that again. Refresh. Add. I know this is this is gonna give us so many errors. Quantity is required. Add quantity to line items. Have we not done that? Let's take a look. It's really nice. This error little thing is going to help you a lot to kind of see what is going on in your code. Okay, so what is going on here? So we have our price data here. And I believe, yeah, this needs to be added right outside of this price data. So let's go down here and just say quantity is gonna be the item.quantity. All right, we're getting this info back anyway from the post request, so we can just pass it down. Let's try that again. Add, purchase. Oh, I mean, it's, oh, look at that. It went true. How cool is that? Lovely. I can't believe it. It actually went true. So we are getting redirected to this page here. And as you can see, we have the price and the image. For some reason, we don't have the title, but that's fine. We're going to fix that. Hey, at least we have something to work with. That's a good sign. And we have Apple Pay by default because we are not on iOS. We can complete our shipping address, and as you can see, we can select Canada or US. We can complete our address, and by default, what we can do is do 42424242 here to complete the payment. All right, just 42 everywhere, and then hit on pay, and that should go through. Now on success, as you can see, the payment went through. We are going to be redirected to the success page. So we're going to need to make another page specifically for this. Okay, but that's fine. At least the payment goes through and everything is okay. So let's check our Stripe account. We can go over to customers. As you can see, a new customer has been made right now. And payments, and look at that. We sent a payment through. Really cool. Awesome. So in the next episode, let's customize our page a little bit and fix up the rest of the issues.